you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. You should get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know, it seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes, I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right. So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
No.
She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other two children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
The first tree.
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
Yeah, that tracks. The bunnies are gonna run from me. I got you. Playground equipment. We don't have a map, so a rocket slide. The Tilly airplane. This is quite a vast area for us to explore. Joseph? We have a Joseph, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. I don't purposely exclude non-binary folk. I just, we live in a new age, you know, of inclusivity where my generation didn't grow up acknowledging it, so it's taking a little getting used to, you know. It's not malice or ill will on my behalf. It's just me being forgetful. How do I dig? Oh.
Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
That's sweet. Found some, is that camo? Some camo hats. Like, if I'm supposed to be sniffing or anything, I don't have a button for that, so, I guess we're supposed to be seeing it, you know, and acknowledging it. After all those rough Sonic Superstar sessions, we needed this. Yeah, we needed this. Saw the shadow of it. There we go. I bought this on the Switch because it was on sale, but I'll probably pick it up on Steam if it's on Steam, just to have it in my library. I did that with Superliminal. I played through it on Microsoft's Games for Windows Pass thingy, and I keep seeing it on sale on Steam, but not able to pick it up because I'm like having to pay for so many other things. There's the bunnies again. Bunnies. It's a shiny Voltorb. And away it goes. Oh, there's something written with the blocks. Broken vases. Okay. Well, I need to go down here and check this first. This music is very lovely and peaceful.
As a kid, did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once, when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me, so I brought a dozen paper cranes I had made. I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a bird and fly, embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly. For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember guarding it so carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun of it. They asked which trash can I found it in, or why an ugly log was my favorite toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friends had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
Yeah, kids are nasty little monsters. Teenagers are even worse. People in their young 20s are also just vicious. I don't think I dealt with some bullying in school, but it wasn't consistent. You know, going from grade to grade, you kept some of the same kids, but some of the kids you had in, like, let's say 2nd grade, they would be split up and sent to 2 or 3 different 3rd grade classes, so you didn't always have the same kids for every class. So it kind of helped shift things up. I know not all schools everywhere worked like that, but mine did. We would, what is that? Broken vases. But in my elementary school, we would have 2 or 3 1st grade rooms, 2 or 3 2nd grade rooms, and so on. It was divided up. What would you like me to do with the broken vases? I haven't forgotten about the dead cub we saw at the beginning of this game. It's gonna haunt me. I don't like that. I mean, nature's gonna nature, but... So pretty. Okay, I guess I wish I had a place up in the mountains. Okay, this is where we first came down. I remember the darker color ground here and the bunnies. We checked everything out on the east side. Let's check the west side. Well, there's something quite large on this side.
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made fun of how far away I lived. They called my dad a sourdough. I was a blabbermouth as a kid, telling my dad stories I made up for hours. But after that show and tell, I didn't tell him much anymore. He didn't know exactly what was wrong, but his best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank and tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah, in the army. The sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, I'm sure.
The big ice tank. That's why you gotta be nice to everybody. You know, we are cynical for the most part as adults because the world has kind of made us cynical, you know? You go through a lot. You deal with depression and loss, hurt feelings. You lose friends and family over time. But you just keep going. No matter what happens, all you can do is just keep going. The only way forward is through. It's what's kept me alive, is just going forward. Even when I really didn't want to. Ooh, a big bus. First rule of video games. Get where you're not supposed to be, break everything. Messing up this guy's dream.
The older I got, the more I withdrew. I asked myself, why talk to anybody anyway? Why bother when I'm happy by myself? I started drawing a lot, mostly animals I saw in the woods by my home. I then imagined designing my own hideouts with things like TVs and pantries full of chips and cookies. I think that idea of leaving home and drawing blueprints started my career. I found a lot of solace in that.
I'm not surprised, but I did the same thing, you know? There's something special about having a place to call your own.
And now look at us. Well, if you count renting in an overpriced city.
It's as close as we can get for now.
That's what I did. When I was a kid, I was very withdrawn and just scared of other people, scared of the world. I would play video games or whatever to just be in my own head for a while. Sadly, millions upon millions of people over the course of human history have lived like that. You know, we don't have enough resources to get everybody the mental help that they need, so many people have lived and died just not learning to cope, not learning to deal with things properly, and it's sad. He built a little fort with all the potato chip bags. But such is life. Life struggles. It wants to be lived, even if we don't feel that sometimes. Bet you I can't get up here. Oh. Oh, I was actually meant to get on top of that one. I see something in the distance. I don't know if it's just going to be more bunnies. Yep. I do want to head back in the other direction, but I want to see what's back here that we may have missed first. Okay, that's just where we dug up the... Okay. Ooh. This game is so pretty.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me. He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
I got into shenanigans like that once or twice. Not often. Literally only once or twice. A new chief. Police station. Barbershop. Search area. Outer Lake. I remember I basically just had Tyler growing up when we were kids for the most part. Ooh. But when I was a little bit older, I made a couple of new friends, and one Halloween, we all went to roll a house together. I didn't know the people. I was just along for the ride. But we did that once. I've done the firecrackers in the mailbox thing. Not with anybody's mail in there. Pretty much just my own mailbox, too. I don't know if my friends ever went and did it with other people's mailboxes, but with me, it was just our own mailbox. I don't know. I wasn't extremely adventurous as a teenager. I didn't get into a lot of trouble. Just the few times of going out and getting into shenanigans. But for the most part, I stayed in, I stayed reserved and quiet, I played video games, kept to myself, didn't really do much of anything. Did I lose the butterflies? Aw. Wish we had double jumps in real life. Bottle rocket! I remember one year when I was a teenager, my cousins and I had bottle rocket fights where we irresponsibly just lit them and threw them at one another. We would use the spent Roman candle tube, put them in there, light it, and use that as kind of like a rocket launcher. Can't believe nobody lost an eye. We had a big open field to play that in, too. Boys will be boys. I think I was supposed to jump with the butterflies, I guess. I see a spark of light. Got it. I spotted more. Yep. Butterflies required. Bump my head. Okay. Am I supposed to be up here? Yep. Okay. Gotcha. Waterfall. More butterflies. Let me look around fully before we go down. Okay, I need to be able to get up there. How do I get down without hurting myself? Suppose that's as good a way as any. Banjo.
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him. saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but...
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to me.
Game is sad. The sad in a good way. Ooh, look how lush and green. That was weird. Well, when I jump, I lose the butterflies. I don't know if I can get up there, but I'll go check. Yeah, I don't think there's a way up. Maybe. Okay, clearly there is a way up because I see the shinies up there. Okay. The tree, maybe? Maybe if we have the butterflies, we can get to the tree, and then from the tree to the thing. Alright, I'll give it a shot. And we'll go get the butterfly. No, I screwed it up. Well, how? How? You son of a gun. No! Jump, girl, jump! Jump! I don't understand. I'm a little confused. Like I said, unless it's literally supposed to be from this area here to the tree and then over, but I don't know. No! That's a rather difficult job. But I insist. I'm gonna feel real dumb if there's a simple way that I just don't know about. Okay, that's not it. That's clearly not right. Huh. Well. If I were a goat, it would be a lot easier. It would be a lot easier indeed. Yeah, that was easier getting them that way. Okay, now where? Where is a good spot to jump up? Oh, now I'm pissed. Never underestimate the stupidity of your player base. I just spent 25 minutes agonizing over two little dots. Two little pixel dots. Let me get out of this area and never come back. You threw off my groove.
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
'Cause you need, much like the rest of us, you need therapy. This is huge. So I'm going to assume it autosaves. I'm assuming. I'm hoping. Okay. I need to fix something in OBS. But I can do that here in a second. Alright, that's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Like I said, aside from that small agitation of not figuring out how the butterflies work right off the bat, yeah, I'm done for the day. You came in late. You came in almost 2 hours late, or at least an hour late. We haven't been streaming for 2 hours, but I got stuff to do, so that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. See you, folks.